Can stress be curtailed from the corporate sector with the help of various psychological therapies? This is my dissertation. Myself, Bikram Mitra, student of Masters of Business Administration. Now, the introduction. Stress is a serious problem nowadays in the corporate sector. In the 21st century, the corporate sector has emerged in a fast way and the recruitment has been increased as well, which means more people. Since we call it a modernized world in the 21st century, we tend to follow the Americanized way of running a company and its employees. Not only these systems have been adapted, but also the employees are under the American style of working with flexible working hours. That's right, we are following the American style of working. It can only be said or assumed that it is a flexible corporate environment because we have flexible working hours, flexible work environment, Americanized, more westernized. But it adds up to be a lot more than that because in modern time, it is the age of anxiety and stress, which itself will be affected by a number of stressors as concluded by Coleman. Pressure at the workplace is something unavoidable due to the demands of the present-day scenario in the corporate field. As an individual, it should be known that there is a thin line between pressure and stress. So we have to keep in mind that we don't mix it up. The pressure of working life can lead to stress, and if it is excessive and long-term, it will lead to stress. Research question. My main dissertation question is, can stress be curtailed from the corporate sectors with the help of various psychological therapies? And if we go on, look, some other questions might pop up, just like, can the managers help their employees to curtail stress from their work life? Can serious issues occur with such stressed life that would affect the personal life of its employees? Can various psychological therapies can actually help curtailing stress from the corporate world? What measures or steps can be taken to maintain a healthy lifestyle of its employees? Research hypothesis. Here the idea of distinguishing the life of various corporate employees in India and Ireland would mainly focus on. So the main idea would be to focus on the corporate employees and their lives in India and Ireland, but India to a greater extent. We can also work on the different levels of stress, the factors of stress, the causes of stress, and the reasons for developing stress in the employees. A good knowledge can also be adapted from various psychological therapies that can be adapted for different levels of stress. The degree of psychological therapies varies a lot from country to country. A lot can be discussed about it, and it can be a very vast topic. Literature, just like occupational stress in the workplace can make people dread walking into the office every morning and then make them worry about their jobs at night. And this mainly happens because of the overcommitment done by the employees to their employers, and this might lead to such issues. When the pressure becomes unmanageable, there comes the necessity to identify the level of that stress, and that is where we are going to focus. The stress is not only affects the attitude of the individual, but also his or her behavior at the workplace, because we believe that when stress inserts into a person's mind from the workplace, his attitude and his behavior at the workplace is going to change. Since we all know stress has become significant because the life is changing and majorly the lifestyle, stress could lead up to the damage of the physical, mental, social life of any individual in the workplace. Though it might not be a medicative dissertation, this should be kept in mind that this is not a medicative dissertation. This proposal it should be seen from a manager's perspective or a point of view because the employees are the major variables in the study. It could be also focused at how are the managers are helping themselves to cope up with such competition and deadline targets while leading a normal life. This is a very interesting topic because a lot can be read and found in theory and research. Stress has been causing a lot of damage to the personal work life of the employees in the corporate sectors, and Various business modules, including the best fit and the super fit modules, can be regarded as relying on the psychological therapies. The role of HR can also be identifying and managing work related stress. A number of research has been adopted by many students all over the world, but the conclusion has not been drawn yet. This could be effective if every company all over the world decides to pull a set of stress releasing activities and decrease their job pressure, like Japan and Indonesia and some other Asian countries. Analysis of the employees can also help in understanding the depth and the working capacity of them. For that, a strong recruitment team indeed is in every company. The dissertation would also focus on the various types of therapies, such as music therapy, color therapy, meditation, and other activities. Well, any activities that would be necessary to relieve stress. Now, the strategies for my research. Audience assessment can be a very helpful idea because it would help to know what is going on and what is about stress. Focus on the content of the research or dissertation uh, because it is a very vast subject and chances of swaying away from the topic could be a possibility. Reading perhaps can be the best strategy because this would be a lot of stuff and a lot of knowledge can be found from the books about this topic, and this would develop a good notion or idea of the content of the dissertation. Focusing on stress and the corporate life and the different modules that can be adapted for a better research, definitely. Data collection. Surveys can be conducted around 10 to 15 corporate offices in India in a particular region. And distributing questionnaire could be a good idea among 50 to 90 employees from various work fields. Lectures on motivation and theoretical concept about moving on with stress. Conducting motivational seminars can be a good idea. And detailed discussion with the managers and its employees about the reasons and causes of stress can be a very good idea for this for the data collection of this dissertation. Now, research limitations. As it had been stated earlier, that the primary focus should be on the topic. So we have to keep in mind that we don't sway away from this topic. And again, it's a vast topic because here it has to be dealt with a lot of variables and factors and causes and reasons and outcomes. And less to study, I would say, because it's there's not too much to navigate because this idea would not be accepted until and unless it is proved theoretically. Many managers, many employers all around the globe would not accept the idea of this topic, but research has been done and not much to study about this. Time management definitely is important as this type of research method can consume a lot of time from the employees. Thank you.